Welcome back to another episode of Creedcast, the podcast where we talk everything faith, mindset, and self improvement. I'm Josh K, and today's episode, I want to discuss the topic or the concept belief is just the beginning. Belief is where it all starts. I believe a lot of us are shortchanging ourselves because we choose or we subconsciously or consciously don't believe in ourselves, we don't believe in our ideas, we don't believe in the potential that we have to do more than we currently do. And that's what I want to talk about today. Today's episode is going to be different to previous ones because this episode is going to be one take. I am looking to learn and I want to improve my communication of these ideas and these concepts. So I am challenging myself to do these episodes in one take. So I'm not going to be cutting them because with the previous episodes, I would do some light editing, but not anymore. And okay, my bad. I'm still getting used to this. Usually this is the part I would cut out, but this episode is going to be straight up no cuts. So if I do mess up or have some mistakes here and there, forgive me. I'm figuring it all out. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it's something that I feel, it's not even I feel, this is what is the most important thing in determining the actions that we take. If you believe you can do something, then you have no doubts when you stand up to take action to do that thing. It's like the reason I'm recording these videos and I'm recording these podcast episodes and I'm starting this channel is because I believe there's a purpose for it. I believe I can do it. I believe I may not know everything, but I believe that there is value that I can provide and skills that I can learn and people I can help with this content. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. If I believed that I couldn't do it, then I wouldn't even try. And a lot of times we shortchange ourselves. So if you find yourself, or when we find ourselves in these scenarios where we are questioning why our life is the way it is, why we think the way we think, why we're not doing better than we currently are, it's where I would step in and question what we're believing. Do we believe that there's a better life than what we're currently living? Do we believe that we have the potential to do more? Or do we believe that it's not possible? I'll tell a story, and it's a funny story because it's kind of one of those instances where the belief itself limited me from taking action. So a lot of times as a kid, a teen, not that I'm not a kid anymore, but as a kid growing up, I used to watch a lot of YouTubers and they'd have a lot of giveaways, and they even not just YouTubers, even in my school, they'd do some giveaways, they'd give away laptops and all these different things. And I would never believe I could win anything. Like if there were 10 people and they said, oh, it's going to be a draw out of 10 people, we're going to pick one person. I always believed I would never be. It's like, what are the odds? I would never win this. I will never win this. It'll never be me. And I would never it got to a point where I didn't even sign up to anything because I just believed, no, I'm not going to win. What are the odds? Especially because a lot of times I tried in the past and no results. And I was just taking those on and they reinforced everything. And later down the line, the previous podcast episode 3, that I had a guest on, it was Ahmed Khan. The moment that I actually got in contact with him was through one of those moments where there were other people messaging him. He opened up his a Google form, and excuse me, sorry, and there was the chance for about 100, if not 200 people to contact him through the Google form, and it was a chance I took. If I didn't take that chance, believing what I had believed before, that it's never going to be me, I'm never going to have the chance to do it, I wouldn't have that episode. It's currently the best performing episode on the channel, and it just would not be there. So it's very important for us to recognize that our belief shapes our life and our reality. The next thing is when we feel like we have no chance at anything, or we feel like we just aren't good enough, we put ourselves down, we feel like we can't do it, or somebody else who's doing it is much better than us and they have much more. I don't know, they're just born smarter, is what I used to think, at least, especially a lot of the time. uh, when I was younger, it's just not true. It's just not true. A lot of the times we don't see what the work they put in is. We don't see how they got to where they are. It could have been something that they've been working on for way longer than we see, because a lot of people make things look easy. They make it look easy, and that's how it should be. You shouldn't be grunting around, but at the same time, you people still need to have an adequate understanding of what it took to get to where you are or what you do. Just because it looks easy doesn't mean it's easily attainable. And even with my relationship with God, it was like that. I used to just think like, oh, some people who are so disciplined with their walk with God, they're just so far off. I don't know what happened. They're from a different planet and they just like they're cut from a different cloth. And it was hard for me to believe that I could be that too. And so discipline was hard. Building those habits was hard. All those things were hard for me to do because I didn't believe it was possible to be of a sober mind. I didn't believe it was possible to live out that my faith, and it affected how I took action in my faith. And for years, I didn't even realize it at the time that that's what I was doing. But I look back at it and it's so clear. And once I started believing that I could be that too, I could be someone who's disciplined too, I could be someone who works hard too, it started to open up those pathways. Now my brain is giving me reasons, giving me suggestions on, oh, I believe I can do that. Okay, when the opportunity now shows up for me to prove that to myself, whether it's by doing something, it's much more easier for me to do that because now I understand and I believe that I am capable of doing that. Next is, a lot of times in life, the odds are already stacked against us. Like, you're from this country, you're of this race, your marks are this low, and your income is this low, and so many things. It could be so many different things. The odds are already stacked against us. But the one factor that should be on our team, our minds, our brain, our mindset, our belief, we now stack that against ourselves. So now the economy is against you to be financially successful. Society is against you to go out and do what you want to do. Your family is against you. Your own capabilities are against you. But now when you put your mind against you, then you've lost. Before you even tried anything, you've lost. Because the rest could be fixed. People will hate you today and praise you tomorrow. They'll praise you today and hate you tomorrow. So now, if you're taking that as the final destination, that's what you're staking it on, that's what you're taking action on, then those things are easily swayed. But the one thing that shouldn't be swayed is your mind, is your belief. You can learn and grow and those thoughts evolve into something else, but you shouldn't have no faith in yourself. You shouldn't, because if your mind never changed, think about somebody who's successful now. Let's say Michael Jordan. If he believed in himself and his coach didn't believe in him, he still believed in himself. And so he did the actions that he took on that belief that pushed him to the greatness that he's at right now. And now his coach is like, oh yeah, of course he is. Look at him. He just put in that much work. He just like, now the coach is like, yes, he recognizes he has no choice. He doesn't have a say on whether he had the potential or he would believe in him. No, he is successful, and he is the greatest, if not the greatest, one of the greatest basketball players alive or to ever walk the earth. And now, if he had put his own mind against himself, it wouldn't just be his coach. So it doesn't matter that 10 years, 20 years, 5 years down the line, his coach would have changed his mind after seeing how well Michael Jordan was. He would already be against himself, and then that shuts off that door completely and shuts off whatever potential he could have achieved in that arena of his life. So we need to understand a lot of the odds are already stacked against you. It's already stacked against me. So what good am I doing stacking those odds against myself again? We need to realize that that's our one superpower, and it may be delusional. Somebody else out there may call you delusional for believing in that, believing in yourself, but you are the one person who should stick to your guts, because at the end of the day, things change, people change, and those people, those circumstances, they're not going to be the one sitting with you at the end of your life looking and asking what decisions did you make. It's going to be you and yourself. And are you going to be happy that you didn't exercise that potential that you had seen, or you didn't believe in yourself enough to take a chance, or wait before it's too late, or wait until it's too late, sorry. Because if you wait until it's too late, now you have responsibilities, now you have a job, and now you have this, and now you're seeing somebody else successful at what you thought what you dismissed because you thought you weren't good enough. Now you're regretting 20 years down the line, why didn't I try? Why didn't I, believe in myself a little more? Maybe I would have been the one touring the world or the country. And now you are in this loop, or in this place where you've basically cheated yourself out of a life that you would have been very happy and very fulfilled in. It's just sad that a lot of people now don't take the risk, and a lot of people now, which is something that is also very instrumental in deterring people from what they want to do. A lot of people nowadays will deter you or make fun of you for doing something when they do absolutely nothing. Like I for example, am posting content. Somebody out there can say, oh, look at him, he's trying to be this, he's trying to be that, or he's trying to be somebody, popular, he's trying to be somebody controversial. Oh, Andrew Tate is a guru, and now you want to be a guru. I don't want to be a guru. I'm just taking a chance and believing, not even taking a chance, I'm believing in myself and putting forth efforts into doing and fashioning out the vision that I have in my head. And if that's what you deem as copying somebody else, then I don't think you have a clear enough vision of what you want for your own life. It's just important for us not to lose that. And sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in not being good enough, because we always want to feel sorry for ourselves. We always, oh, you've had such a bad life. You've had it so rough. But somebody else has had it worse than you. Somebody out there has had it worse than you. And I'm not saying you dismiss those things. Of course, everybody has their challenges. Everybody has the downs that they go through. Nobody's life is perfect. But at the same time, you need to realize, one, there's always somebody who has it worse than you, and it's not the end. It's not the end. Because if we start throwing ourselves a pity party, we just stop. It's like, okay, I'm going to sit down here and, woo, that's the end. And then everybody's consoling you. That was a very dumb analogy. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you can't realize that bad things happen and you have inadequacies and things you can't control may stop you, and you yourself may not be able to do certain things well, and that may stop you, but that doesn't end the story. There's still a decision you have to make to progress, to do better, to put in effort, to whatever it is you have to do to get you to that goal that you believe that you can do. I believe 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, actually, you will be happy with yourself for betting on yourself. Because even if it doesn't pan out exactly like what you thought it would, you will definitely have checked off that box of things you will not regret years from now, years down the line. It's super easy for us to look at other people trying and just mock them. I remember some people used to make rap songs, trap, when I was in high school. And sometimes, you make fun of them. You're like, oh, like you can't even rap, you can't even sing, you can't even do all that. But those people are really making progress. Like, those are the people exercising their belief. They're believing in themselves that they can do something. And mind you, a lot of them were horrible at it, and a lot of them should not have been anywhere near a mic. But they know now not to go near a mic ever again because of that. And they believed in themselves. They tried it out and it didn't work. Now they have more clarity that, okay, this is not for me. I understand that I like music. Maybe I should become a producer. Maybe I should become a songwriter. Maybe another avenue opens up for them. But the fact that they've checked it off is also something they wouldn't regret. They're not going to be looking down 10 years from now at somebody who's made it rapping and saying, "Oh, I could have been like that. Maybe if I tried that one song with this person, I could have." No, they've done it. They tried it. It didn't work out for them. Maybe for other reasons, but now they know that they exercise that belief. So my call to you is, are you exercising your belief? What is that project? What is that channel? What is that business? What is that course? What is that career? What is that thing you wanted to try? Try it. And especially for us Christians, it's like, before I started taking it seriously, it was hard for me to believe that I could live a Christian life. Like, I didn't even know what that meant. And when I look back at how I'm living now and how I was living then, belief is just one of the things that has played the biggest role in that. You know, the Bible says, is John 3:16? For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believed in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. All you had to do is believe. All you have to do is believe. That's it. It's like the prerequisites for salvation is belief. So without that, you have nothing. Whatever it is you're trying to do right now, whatever business it is, whatever opportunity you are looking to purchase, whether you're trying to relocate, you're trying to, whatever it is, if you don't believe you can do it, then there's no point. So it's important for us also, not just, I almost forgot that, not just to believe, but to take action. Because do you really believe if you're saying, "Oh yeah, I could totally do that," and you're just sitting down at home doing nothing, making no progress towards that goal? Do you really believe? I don't think so. Somebody who really believes, if you really believe that that idea you have could change your life, change your financial situation, change your family's life, if you really believed, would you sit there at home and do nothing about it? No, you wouldn't. You would take action, because that's the most important thing in your life. It's like some people who say they're Christian, but God is not the first thing. He's not the most important thing in their life. There are other things, and you can clearly see that. It's like, if you really believe that there's a creator that made you, put you on this planet for a reason, are you sure that wouldn't be the first thing that takes the utmost importance in your life? So we have to question that. And we have to introspect, ask ourselves, do we really believe in ourselves? And if we do, are we really putting actions behind that? And are we really taking the steps that show, oh yes, I really do believe in this? When you look at how I spend my time in a day, how many times I spend recording, how many times I spend editing these episodes, working on this business, or working to get this degree or whatever, do I really believe I can do it? Yes, my actions show that. And you keep on striving, and you'll be surprised what you can achieve. That's been it for today's episode. I thought it was just important to bring up that conversation, because it's something that I needed to hear. And especially that last part about not just believing, but believing with your actions, because your actions really tell what your mind thinks. Even if you're not consciously thinking it, what your subconscious mind is thinking, your actions will tell you. So that's been it for today's episode. Join the Discord. I'm looking to build that out into a community where we have weekly calls later on. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, the link is in the description. Join the Discord. Let me know what you think about the podcast episode. Leave a comment, rate the episode. That's been it for today. Remember, belief is just the beginning. That's the slogan for this podcast. And it's a slogan for life for me. It's something that has been very true and remained true throughout my life, as long as I can remember. That's been it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in.